Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone's been having a good week and a half. It's been a week and a half, 2 weeks. It's been a long time, I guess. I want to apologize for not uploading the season 8 episode 16 review of 90 Day Fiance like I was planning to, but as all of you know, the F4 tornado that hit Noonan knocked out my boyfriend's dad's house. It actually happened 5 minutes from where we live because we are literally right off the road from where it happened. It was scary, crazy. So it's just been a week on top of my daughter having surgery. Well, it's just been a week. But I hope everyone's been having a good week so far. And obviously, spoiler alert, if you have not had a chance to watch the season finale of 90 Day Fiance, do not watch this video because you'll be spoiled. And also, I'm going to be posting the GoFundMe link that we have created for his dad just to kind of help get things up and going for him again. If anybody can share, donate, pray, that would be greatly appreciated. So let's go ahead and do this. All right, so brief recap of episode 16. We all saw that, well, Mike and Natalie are having issues, as usual. And as we all know, he rejected their wedding and she had to basically leave. But of course, as we all saw, she got to the hotel. She could not check in because he was not there and she did not have a photo ID and, well, it was not her credit card. So she had to go back to Mike. And apparently they spoke and, well, they're just having issues. Technically, she has 2 days, 3 days to get married before she is illegal. So that's going to be rather interesting. And of course, I've already watched the finale, so we'll get to that in a minute. Rebecca and Ziad, they ended up getting married in episode 16. I was pretty happy. Everybody looked nice. I don't know why everybody was complaining about the jeans, in a wedding. As long as you're comfortable, I don't care. They weren't in a church setting, so it's not like it had to be formal. It was casual, comfy. So, I'm happy. I'm happy they got, married, and I'm hoping they're still together. So, Brandon and Julia, they had a really nice, lovely ceremony in the church after Brandon finally realized that, well, he was going to have the wedding and that he wanted to marry her, and that was that. He did his vows in Russian, she did hers in English, and it was nice, it was beautiful, and as far as I'm aware, they're still together and are supposed to premiere on the Happily Ever After 90 Day Fiance, which I watch occasionally, Chantel and Pedro. Watched a little bit of Andre and Elizabeth. So I'm excited to see what's going on. Stephanie and Harris. So when we last saw them, well, she was talking about bringing Harris over to America, but first she wanted to speak to his baby mama, Emma, and was basically saying that she was still in love with him and she didn't want to separate any of that nonsense, and she wanted to speak to Emma in person about how she felt about Harris moving to the U.S. Do we all think that Stephanie should be bringing Harris to the United States? No, but we're not her. Who am I missing? Andrew and Amira. So obviously in the last time we saw them, they were completely broken up. So we get their finale in Sunday's episode. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Brandon and Julia, Mike and Nat. Jovi and Yara. So Jovi and Yara have had a really rough start. Obviously, she's pregnant, and everyone doesn't really understand why she's so tired and hasn't been drinking. Well, of course, we all saw the finale. If you haven't, you're in for some real eye rolling when it comes to Jovi. So he has got his tux, and everyone is making all of their remarks about how Jovi doesn't really want to get married. And of course, he thinks they rush things. And they might have, pregnancy kind of does that. But as far as I'm aware, they're still happy together. They have a 7-month-old daughter, which we actually get to see in the season finale of her whole 9-month pregnancy. So that's kind of cool. I really feel like I'm missing somebody. Tariq and Hazel. So their wedding was really nice. I kind of cried a little bit because her parents actually got to witness the whole thing. It was pretty short and sweet and simple. And actually, I liked everybody's weddings. It was actually kind of nice. So I'm really happy for everybody. I hope that everyone's still together. I kind of hope that they tell us in the 90 Day tell all, because I watch those religiously. I record them on my DVR because I'm never able to watch them when they come out. So I watch them the next day. All right, so that's a brief recap. So let's get on to the season finale. So we'll go ahead and start with Mike and Natalie. Big shocker. They ended up getting married in the finale. I was not happy. In fact, I rolled the entire time when Mike was talking about having cold feet and that, they had so many problems and they were rushing everything. He didn't want to marry her. He didn't know if he wanted to marry her. Speaking with the immigration office, I don't know why they thought they were going to have some leeway in her being here because of the coronavirus. She wasn't. She was going to have to leave the United States because she would have been considered illegal. But in that last minute change of plans, she got married in a summer dress, wearing tennis shoes, and they looked all happy. Shocker, again, I've read that they have already divorced after less than a year of marriage. Not really a big shock to anybody, but honestly, it was Mike's fault. I mean, honestly, if you watch their stuff from season 7, you're on Mike's side about a lot of things because of how Natalie is. But when it's actually over here in America, Mike was kind of being condescending too. So I kind of felt bad that he even brought her over there to begin with because she was expecting them to get married. And all it did was cause, well, stuff until the last minute. And now they're divorced. Woo. All right, so we obviously don't see anything of, well, the other couples because they're already married. So now we move on to Jovi and Yara. So they got married by Elvis in a cute little church chapel thing in Las Vegas. After she, had finally warmed up and her and Jovi had a nice talk about him growing up and maturing. And then, of course, like a few days later, he had to go to work. So he's in work now, and then the coronavirus hits and they shut all the borders for international flights. And he has been in work for 4 months. So Yara has basically gone through 7 months of pregnancy, 4 months of pregnancy by herself because she was 3 months when we first see her again. So at 7 months pregnant, Jovi's finally coming home and he decides he wants to go out to have a drink with his guy friends, which is fine. He ends up staying out really late and he basically says that it's not fair, that he wants to have the freedom before the baby is there. I'm not going to say nothing because honestly, I just kind of feel like everyone is like that. We all miss our freedom a little bit and we get it every now and again, but it's not about you anymore. It's not about what you want to do. It's what you need to do, especially if Yara isn't going to be able to work, for the first few months or 6 months or however long she's planning on not working with this baby. Jovi needs to be devoting family time. I'm not saying that you don't have time outside, but if Jovi gets it, then Yara gets it too. So that's kind of how that goes. But also we saw the baby special of their baby girl, Mila, being born. So she was born, and as far as we know, she's 7 months now, and they are set to premiere on the Happily Ever After segment, Not a Fiance. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing the drama, because I'm pretty sure there's going to be drama. And I'm really happy that Gwen was able to be there. Do I think that Yara should have given in to everybody being there from Jovi's side of the family? No, because I wouldn't have, but that's just me. But I am happy that Yara sees them as her family. And, her Gwen was able to help her through most of everything that she could. So that was nice. It was nice. I totally appreciate that. And I felt bad for Yara that she was going through the pregnancy by herself because I couldn't even imagine. But the baby girl was born. They're still apparently happy and in love. So let's move on. So we see the finale of Amira and Andrew. Amira has basically bluntly stated that she is done with Andrew and is no longer giving him the chance. But of course, on Andrew's side, we don't see what the messages that he sent to Amira. His mom and his sister just believe that she just had a panic attack and decided not to get on the plane and left him high and dry, and they're all pissed. And I really hope that somebody tears into Andrew about this, because we saw the text messages that he sent to Amira, and I felt bad. She spent 14 days by herself in another country, said that she did 3 days in a detention center while he was living it up vacation style, only for him to say she had 2 choices. She could either come to the United States or she could go back to France. And then she went back to France, then returned the rings because they were fighting, and he was basically saying something about kids. And honestly, I agree with Amira. You don't rush into having kids. I mean, accidents happen, but if you're not trying to have kids, you're going to do everything you can not to have kids. And I'm not, you know what I mean, on a whatever. But Andrew basically saying that he wanted the timeline of when they were going to have kids, like, I don't know, when y'all are good, a year or 2 years down the road, you kind of need a relationship first. I mean, he's just kind of was being a prick. That's nowhere else I can say that without it being mean. So I'm glad that Amir stood her ground and is done with Andrew. I hope. I hope that we're not going to see them on night I tell on they're back together again. So, Stephanie and Harris. So Stephanie is left Belize and she is headed back to Michigan. And so she arrives in Michigan. She's talking to her lovely little feline about how she's planning on bringing Harris over to the United States. I roll big time. Now, Harris sees Stephanie as his big ticket ride, to get free money. I don't know why he said free money, like you just get free money, but Emma said that she was fine and she would totally support Harris if he decided to leave because it was for their kids and his family. But we've all seen how some of them act. Who was it in season 2 who married Molly? I can't remember his name. He just wanted to do whatever he wanted and was sending, money back. And then, and what about the Hawaiian dude? I cannot remember their names. Oh my gosh. It'll come back to me. It'll come back to me when I'm done with this video. But he was sending money back, when his mom was asking for $1,000 and stuff. And, we all know how that goes. So I don't really believe that Stephanie and Harris should really pursue a future. But it's her money. She wants to waste it. Whatever. All right. So Jovi and Yara have been married. Mike and Natalie have been married. Amir and Andrew are done. We don't really see anybody else. So is that it? Is that everybody? Well, it is. Okay, well, if I missed anything, I am sorry. It has been a hellish almost 2 weeks dealing with a bunch of stuff. But I look forward to the happily ever after. And if you guys want, I can do the review segments on that too. And I'm looking forward to the tell-all. I hope they're going to have a tell-all. They normally do it virtually. I don't think I missed nobody. So I hope you guys continue to have a good week, and we'll see y'all soon.